Hi everyone, welcome to the Oak Hill Industrial Railroad. Let's do some switching. Good morning everybody. On January 6th, my good friend Fran from the 5-Minute Modeler came down to run my layout. Had a few problems this time. Usually it runs really well. I'll talk about those once we get going. I didn't film that operating session though, so this is the one after it. I just wanted to visit with Fran instead of worried about filming it. So before we can start switching Oak Hill, we've got a DT&I southbound run through. It's a short train, just has some open top hoppers, and they're not going all the way to Ironton. They're just going to Pedro to get some clay. It's going to be a short run, so we'll see these guys again in the next couple of videos. We'll see them on the way back with the loaded hoppers. In the meantime, while the DT&I run-through is happening, over in the Chillicothe yard, the GP7 is putting together the Oak Hill train. The train itself is already built. It's on track 3. But we're getting a caboose for the run to Oak Hill. And we'll just take the one off the end there. I don't really like showing the yard yet. I want to get some scenery done, some ballast done. But occasionally I'll throw something in. Actually, I've been having trouble sleeping because of my legs, so I filmed this like at 4 in the morning. I woke up, couldn't go back to sleep, so I thought I'm just going to go shut the door and run some trains. I used the gimbal and the battery was getting low. There's times here it started sort of drifting on me. Made it through, but it was not as quality as much as I like. We've cleared the switch. Now we can tack the caboose onto the end of the train and pull it all out at once. Maybe the real guys would have put the train on the departure track and then went and got the caboose. This seemed like a more efficient way to do it with a very short train. So while we're pulling the train out onto the departure track, let you know that the NW2, I told about Fran had some problems. I just pulled the NW2 out of the box and popped it on the track. It's a Kato, it'll run. Well, it's been in the box for several months and it did not want to run. So we pulled the Ojai Alco back out, let him run with that, and of course it ran about perfect. And then so after he was done, I cleaned the wheels really good on the NW2, made sure the track was clean, because I had been touching up some paint in a few places, and I think you'll see it'll run pretty well. So as a reminder, the story is that the Ojai Alco is getting some repairs. So I'm going to run the NW2 for the next couple of sessions in Oak Hill, and then I will put the Alco back in service. when I get the lighting valance installed, you won't see that shadow from standard elevator. Right now we're just running off the room light, which is 4 incandescent bulbs on a ceiling fan in the center of the room on this section of the layout. So we'll just leave the train here and then we'll run around it. Didn't feel the need to show that whole move, especially since I was nursing the gimbal trying to get it through this. Alright, so the train is going to cross over from the arrival departure track onto the main line to head east through the Douglas Avenue switching area. I talked about in the last video about some of the things I was doing with JMRI. I wasn't satisfied. Well, my friend Pete from Kansas City contacted me, and we had a 40-minute phone call, and we made some changes in JMRI. So we'll see if that makes a difference. I am only taking 4 cars this time to Oak Hill instead of, 5, like sometimes I do. So we'll see if we get some randomness in the switching like I like. As we pass by the background buildings I've been working on, I'll talk just a little bit about an improvement I made on one of them with a suggestion from one of you guys. As the train leaves Chillicothe, we caught up with it crossing Grassy Fork. So as the train pulls into Oak Hill, they're going to have to wait because DT&I train slowed down these guys from getting their work done. So they have not pulled those cars onto the main line yet. So the Chessie train is just going to sit there and wait. But we'll do that in the next operating session. So let me talk about the improvements to the building, and then we'll talk about Chance. Before we talk about Chance, I want to give a shout out to Jerry Smith. I talked in the video about how the lettering here was so faded you couldn't read it, so I didn't do anything. And he suggested just adding some black just to break up the white. So actually I went in and did that. And while I was at it, also dusted the whole building so it wasn't quite as bright as it was. It really helps a lot. So again, I appreciate all the suggestions you guys give me on little tips like that. Someone asked me for a picture of the Georgetown depot. I think I posted it before, but for reference, I was standing, my car was parked about where the depot is, and I was standing back behind it. This picture is looking south. Most of the time when I was filming, I was looking north because of the sun. So the photographer in this picture was probably standing on that street that had the grade crossing on it, you know, looking south. It was a very nice depot, torn down in the 80s. Here comes Chance. These are the steps he couldn't make it up a couple times last week. And we had him taking him to laser therapy 3 times this week. Come on, Chance. Come on. And he's not moving super fast, but he's getting around a whole lot better. So just want to let you know he's doing better. Everybody stay safe.